Ben Heather here from Kingdom MMA, and I'm joined on the phone now with Tom Mowle, who's going to be fighting at BCMMA 11 this weekend. First of all, Tom, how are you feeling ahead of the fight?
Hi, mate. Thank you for having me on. Yeah, feeling really good at the moment. Thank you, mate. Weight's going good. Obviously feeling sharp, as always.
And what I'd like to do is I'd go back and talk about your first fight. It's only a couple of months ago now, but now you've had a bit of time to reflect on it. How did you feel going into it, and how did, looking back on the fight, how do you think it went?
Obviously, first fight nerves and that was absolutely cracking my pants. Like going into a fight, it's a whole new experience kind of thing. It's difficult, but fight went a bit ropey for how I would have wanted it to go, but I showed that I can grapple, and then obviously with the second fight I showed that I can strike as well. So it's good to. I'd like to say it's quite a good matchup between wrestler versus striker kind of thing. It's good.
That's it. And you mentioned there that the first fight you seem to rely on your wrestling a lot, and ultimately it got the takedown and got the arm triangle win from there. And then in the second fight, when you fought at Warrior Fight Series, you put on a bit of a striking clinic from what everyone who was there said. Was that part of the plan to not rely on the grappling in the second fight?
I'd known from his background that he's got a bronze medal in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, no gi and gi, and so it was kind of trying to stuff takedowns and strike with him and keep him on his feet, because it's one of those things you can't be one dimensional in MMA. You've got to be well rounded kind of thing. And that's what we worked on down here, and I needed to show that I could stuff his takedowns and just strike with him, which I done.
Yeah. And in between your first fight and that fight, you chose to drop down to welterweight. What made you do that after your first fight?
I was fat. Being a bit overweight, became a bit too much pork for my own liking. So that was one of the reasons why I wanted to move down, really.
And was it for that first fight? Was it more just about getting the experience and getting the fight under your belt before you then thought, right, now I've done it, now I'm going to drop down and cut the weight and make sure I'm the best I can be?
I'm not too sure, to be honest. It's a fight kind of thing. If anything comes wrong and I can hit that weight kind of thing, as long as it's not like heavyweight or anything, I'll try and fight it. Yeah. So I can't be picky. Yeah.
So you'd be happy to go back up to middleweight if the fight brought itself to you?
If something good come of it, then I'd go back up to middleweight. But obviously, I'll try to put on more muscle rather than just being fat this time. I'd definitely take another middleweight one if it come about. I'd take it anyway, kind of thing.
Yeah. And for that second fight that you had at Warrior Fight Series, you fought at York Hall, which for a lot of people it's a big deal. It's a venue which is historical for its boxing. How did it feel to go in there only on your second fight and fight in an arena like that?
For a second fight, it's a big venue. It's a big shout kind of thing. It's a big jump up in place, but compared to Charter Hall, which being is that Charter Hall's bigger, but it hasn't got that history to it, so it was comfortable and I enjoyed it. It sounds compared to Charter Hall, it seemed quite homely, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
It's comfortable. So.
And next up for you this weekend, you're fighting the Norwegian fighter Quinten Devreught. What do you know about him going into the fight?
I know he's from Norway. I don't really know too much from him. I saw one of his fights on YouTube, and then after that it got pulled down. But obviously either he took it down or I don't know what happened. But I got to see that. He's a good opponent. It's not going to be, it's never an easy fight. It's going to be hard for him. It's going to be, I think
That's it. And in the first fight, it was your wrestling that won you the fight. In the second fight, it was your striking. What are you going to be looking for on Saturday?
I can't give that away, mate. You know, I was be telling, wouldn't it? Start from the whole plan, but yeah, I just go out there and fight. Really, it's no game plan kind of thing. I don't think it's just go out and win, hopefully.
Yeah. And coming from a gym like BKK, and obviously with this event being in Colchester, it's a local event, local show. What are you expecting from the fans on fight night again? You've been through it first time. What are you expecting this time?
Obviously I'm expecting to go out and hopefully get the win, but from a crowd perspective, I just want to put on a show kind of thing. I might be a bit nervous again, like everyone's nervous when they go into a fight, but yeah, no, I'm looking forward to it.
Would you say there about the nerves and everyone being nervous? Would you say that you'd be more comfortable this time, knowing that you've done it before and you've been to the same venue, or do you expect yourself to be in exactly the same place come time to fight?
I haven't got a clue, to be honest, mate. It's one of the things that we'll see like, on the night. Hopefully I'll be a bit more comfortable with it and that, and go out and get a quick finish, something like that. That'd be brilliant. We'll have to see.
And finally, one last question: if you could give a message to any of the fans and people that'll be coming to watch the fight, what can they expect on Saturday from you?
Expect me to give everything into it. I'd like to think I'm someone, a fighter that goes into a fight and doesn't shy out of anything. I want to try and put on a good show and make it entertaining. I want to be known. And I think you're not in it to big shot. You're there to fight.
Brilliant. Well, we wish you all the best on Saturday night, and thank you very much for your time.